This you?
Was poppin', was poppin', was poppin'. Welcome, Nicky and Moose. I'm Nicky. That's Moose. What's up, Moose?
What up, y'all?
And welcome to the live show. First and foremost, you already know the vibes. Can you, if you love us, share this live, whether you're watching this on YouTube, whether you're watching this on Facebook, or wherever you're watching this replay. If you're watching the replay, for algorithm reasons, please please share, comment, all that great stuff. Let us know where you're watching this from. That's always important. Of course, episode 140 dropped today. Big numbers, big numbers. Okay, so we talked about the main part was skills that you would need to be a full-time content creator / creative entrepreneur, but we talked about rebranding or evolving or blueprints fake. We talked about brought him back, Ye or Kanye West, and some new AI features for you to look into. The audio experience is out now for episode 140. You can go to nickyandmoose.com or any of your podcast players. It is out now. Moose, how are we feeling?
Man, I'm good, and I'm most definitely inspired simultaneously. As you all know, Apple's my favorite company, man. I talk about it all the time. I probably use it in like 99.9% of my examples on the show. So I'm excited that we got almost a full hour-long segment dedicated to this whole setup and what we can learn from it. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this.
I like that. I'm Gucci. I'm super ready to take my credit card out for Apple, but they're making us wait, and we'll talk about that. Of course, first and foremost, if you watched the Apple event, type in 1. If you watched the Apple event, type in 1. Whether you're watching this live, whether you're watching this replay, type in 1. If not, that's okay. We got some clips, but we're not doing it from a techie standpoint. Okay, so let me break this down. Apple has been amazing with how they always release their new products, their new software, and we've covered it a few times as far as when they have events, but we want to really point out, like, visually how they're doing certain things, how they're taking away the power of third-party software platforms or hardware situations, how they master selling without selling, right? How they make us wait till the very last moment for a really big product to then make us wait more. Okay, so we're going to talk about that all today. It may give you a little podcast vibe, but we're going to do it a little bit different. Okay, so Moose, overall, before we get into the whole thing, give me some highlights that that hit you when it came to the Apple event. Actually, let's start here. Did you watch the full event?
No, I didn't catch the full event. I watched like multiple segments and got a complete summary of it. But I have to say, deciding to cover this in more detail put me down a rabbit hole of research around the behind the scenes of what goes into an event like this. And so, one of the things that I thought was interesting, and we'll share more about some of the different actual tactics and strategies that they use while showcasing the products. But the thing that I thought was interesting is just how they set up the event all in its own, right? And so, they said that there was a time up until about 2020 where you had to pay to attend this event. It was priced at $15.99. It was free for developers, but for anyone else who wanted to attend the headquarters and go to Apple Park and sit in on the WWDC event and see this experience live, they had to pay. And I just thought to myself, like, man, imagine how great of a brand you have to be and become so that people are willing to pay to come see what you have to sell to then buy what you're about to sell them. It's so crazy when you start to think about it that way. So I think that was just one of the things that stood out to me in their whole process in setting some of these things up, more specifically the event. And just to realize that, wow, there was a time when you had to pay to even enter this event. Of course, you can experience it for free at home, but I low-key kind of like made it a bucket list item. Like, yo, it wouldn't be bad to go check this out live and just see what it's like to be there in person for the event.
Yeah, but there's no more of that, right?
Well, no, they're still letting people in. You just I don't know that it's still paid.
Do you mean like, based off
for developers? I think it's only developers, but I don't know. But I know there were like some live members in the audience. I could be wrong, but I was literally just reading up this. I'm like, yo, how?
You mean watching the thing?
$15.99?
Because before they were on stage, like before they were on an actual kind of black stage video wall, and then they'll come through, tag somebody else is different. The video production on this one, there's no way that could be live. There's no way. They would be watching.
I don't know if you've seen. Yeah, I'm sure they're seeing the production or watching it. Yeah, the stream. But I've seen some videos of people recording from the audience what is happening on screen with other people in the audience. So that is I think is what's happening there.
Yeah, it's a whole community feel now. Like people look forward to these particular events. I know even my own team is like, the call is done literally at like 12:45, 12:50 the latest, so we could watch it at 1 p.m. Eastern and see how it goes. Like everything is pretty much shut down. We're going back and forth. What's happening? 9 out of 10 times Apple is faster and bigger, and this is the best version of but we'll talk about it. So I want to go in this kind of direction first and foremost, where we are noticing when it comes to Apple how they are paying attention to the market, and they are seeing what third-party people have been doing. And in the beginning, they let third-party do everything. They, for those people who are understanding techie talk, they'll allow access to the API. They'll allow the developers to do whatever they need to do to make sure their products and their software works very well with any Apple products. So I think this is kind of a play to be like, I see what you're doing. I'm collecting all the data so we could create our own products based off what's been working and what's not. One of the things that I wanted to bring up was this thing called NameDrop, right? And we're going to play it so you understand what we're talking about. But this is the newest feature when it comes to AirDrop. So for those people who go to networking events or who is big on like business cards, right? We all know that business cards are obsolete. We either throw them away. Now, what certain companies are doing is getting either this card or like this kind of like thing in the back, I don't know, where you tap it on the phone and it pops up with your contact information, right? So it would be like the new business card. Well, Apple noticed that and this is, and we're going to break down what it is as it's going, but this is what they did about that.
NameDrop. With NameDrop, you can just bring your phones close together. You'll see the same contact poster we talked about for phone calls, and you can easily choose the phone numbers and email addresses you want to share along with it.
So let's stop there, because that's literally what the third party people were doing.
Thing is, yeah.
Like, wait, what? How? Okay, Apple. I ain't mad at this. I'm not mad at this. Now, Moose, when you first saw that, what was your reaction?
I'm biased. I can't even lie. They always swirl me with the graphics. Even as I'm watching it now, I'm like, yo, the graphics is so clean though. Like, even if the bopper gives you the social media, but it's not gonna be as clean as this. Like, they just have a way of making sure they give you some wow element in how it looks. And so I'm not gonna lie, Nix. I mean, like, the social media thing is like, oh, I know that's important to share too, but just looking at that, I'm just like, yo, it's so clean. It's so fire. It's so fire.
Amazing. This is what Apple does. It makes it look amazing.
Yeah.
No, let's play the rest.
And share them just like that. And to make exchanging contacts even more convenient, you can use NameDrop with an iPhone and an Apple Watch too.
Of course, they make it to where it works with everything. I'm not mad at this, right? And shout out to Lightridge Studios. Dot cards were among the first to do it. Yes, there's all these different cards and like the socket thingies. And my question is, does it work with Android? Does it work with Android? Is it only?
That's awkward. Yeah, that's awkward. It's like, oh, excuse me,
does it
Apple.
work with Android? Because if we're fully dominating that part, right, where you don't have to buy all these different, because even in our team, we were like, well, we don't have to get no cards for InvestFest or anything like that. We'll just use our phone for it, even though this is not coming out till pretty much the fall, of course, because Apple shows you something and makes you wait. I'm very confused by that. But if you want to dominate that space, I would think you would try to find a way to make it work for the other people too. Because they did that with FaceTime eventually, where FaceTime is, you could send them just a link to the FaceTime situation, and then boom, now Android people can jump on FaceTime. It's very weird. I'm not a very big fan of it, but still, it's still an option. So I would assume eventually that would be it. I don't know. Is this their attempt? Is this their attempt of being like, I see you third party people and I raise you?
Definitely. I mean, when you think about their strategy to allow all of this integration by other developers and apps and people just to be able to mingle with their products and their software, well, really more so their software, it's the genius idea of saying, rather than being very overprotective over my things, which most people are, and you should be to some extent, they're at a point where they know they can innovate so much faster if they allow the rest of the world to work with them for free. It's really what they're doing. If you think about it, you're hiring the entire world, or anyone who's in software, you're hiring them for free. They're able to innovate on your software. They're able to come up and think and strategize and say, what's missing and how can we do something to leverage Apple? They're not going to go anywhere. And then sure enough, as soon as something catches on, they say, that's a great idea. I'm going to take it. It's like, I mean, and I don't know that you can argue with them. I mean, it's their products, you know?
This is a fact. That's one thing that I saw. This one, I actually really want your opinion, because this is how Apple masters selling without selling. Now, we all know that the whole presentation was to showcase different hardware and software. We know that, right? but there's still certain things that they sell you without necessarily selling you. So one of the new features was called standby, right? I'll let you see parts of it.
Call it standby. Just by turning iPhone on its side while charging, you get a new full screen experience with glanceable information designed to be viewed at a distance.
First off, I don't even know why we need that. I'm not really sure why we need that, but okay.
Standby is perfect for your nightstand, kitchen counter, or desk. And with the always-on display on iPhone 14 Pro, it's always available. When you wake up, it's easy to see the time.
Okay, that's fine. Now, can we point out that they're low-key showing a stand that we never heard about, never saw before, but to display this standby mode that I don't know we necessarily needed. They're showing this stand in a very consistent way. I don't know if you peeped that. Did you peep that?
Not until you mentioned it, but now that you say that, I'm gonna definitely need that. I mean, how can I use the feature? How can I mean, yo, they smart. No, I'm just kidding. But no, that's a great point.
No, but if you're going to show a new feature, but you want to show some hardware in between, like this is, and they don't mention it. But I'll play the rest. They don't mention it the whole presentation, especially not this particular part.
A clock, and it's easy to personalize. Swipe up to choose from a range of beautiful clock styles. Swipe to the side, and you can look back on your favorite moments in photos. Standby automatically shuffles through your best shots, taking full advantage of the screen. It also embraces.
Can we just show that how they change different environments with the same stand, so you know how it fits in all different environments and how you're going to need this in these different environments?
I mean, you know it's an Apple product because it's white. It's like anytime you see that white, you know it's an Apple product. I mean, they have to. It has to, be something a part of their ecosystem. But is there more? I mean, is there more to this one?
There's 11 seconds. I just want you to see how it just does not. It masters selling without selling. It doesn't talk about it at all.
The power of widgets, which are more glanceable than ever. With a quick swipe on each widget stack, you can see the current weather, home controls, or your favorite third-party widgets.
So, okay, shout out to Standby. That's cute. I was more intrigued by the stand.
Yeah.
I don't know. So my personal opinion is that I don't necessarily think I needed a fancy clockwise for my phone. I didn't know, that's one of those things, I didn't necessarily want it, but that I have it, cool. But I definitely necessarily didn't want it. I was okay with just going okay, go. That's time? Great. Good. I know that time. I don't know if I wanted to put it on standby and go through all these different widgets. For all that, I'll just open my phone, say, hey, the name, because I don't want to do it because it'll activate my right. Siri joint, but hello, that thing, and then open up whatever app. I don't know how this makes anything easy. I don't.
Yeah, well, I mean, the lessons that we can take from it is that, for one, it would look crazy considering how clean all of their product marketing is, to not have the phone on something that is seamless or as clean as the stand is, right? It's like, imagine the phone is on your nightstand, or they're just showing you a phone on a nightstand. I guess it doesn't look as clean. So I got to give, and I think there are lessons from that. I mean, if that lesson doesn't speak to itself or for itself, in the sense of make sure that your marketing is very clean. And I forgot who was telling me this, but they say that the reason why they use a lot of white space is because when you use more space than you need, it's something that it shows more value or it shows a premium feel. I don't know. I gotta get the details on that, but they were saying how more white space for smaller products, it gives more of that premium feel. So I think just the clean look, there's definitely a lesson in that. But we should expand on that a little bit more. The concept of being able to sell without the sell, because they're really speaking to the need, or they're just thinking ahead of, okay, if you do this, you need that. And did at any point, and I wasn't sure if they did this, but did they make this stand as a product available, or did they speak to it? I guess not, right? It's too
No. So
too small.
no. So they didn't talk about it, but I wonder if it's going to be part of the store now. So I'm low key going to the store. If I could pull it up, I'll put it up on live. But I just find it very, very funny that it's like, now granted, has there been stands before? Not per se for Apple, I think. I think, of course, third party. Like,
Yeah, phone cases.
yep. But now, if we're going to make a feature that is necessary to have the Apple phone to the side to make it fully horizontal, you're going to need an Apple stand, and you're going to see how it fits in all different, in your kitchen. How's it look? On your desk, how's it look? In your room, how's it look? Like, it makes sure that you can truly envision it in wherever you need it. So, yes, the focus was, hey, this is the new feature. But the real thing is, you're going to buy this stand because you're going to want that same look. I just gave you how it's supposed to
visual.
look. Yeah, I gave you visuals. You're going to want this vibe. And sure enough, even some people in the live were like, yep, I need that. Shout out to Freed. I need that stand ASAP. I mean, like, it looks sleek. They do this on purpose. I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it at all.
That's a fact. How do you think brands, say service-based brands or even product-based brands, can use a similar strategy as part of their playbook to move the same way?
So I think it's just product placement that we've seen from a lower standpoint. If we're talking about prime example, hold on, why is my mic acting? But prime example, if I'm promoting create pressure without promoting create pressure, right? Deeper than the brand without saying deeper than the brand, right? You see it on your favorite, like, talent. The iPhone is the talent. The features on the iPhone is the talent. And now it's saying, okay, here, but let me do the product placement. Now I have a black one, boom. This is the talent, but you're going to want this same vibe. You're going to want sorry for my dog in the background, but you're going to want to be able to leave your phone like that too. How convenient it is, right? To have it in that way. So from a smaller brand, how can you showcase whatever you want to showcase with still product placement? So what is the talent? What is the primary thing that needs to be shown in front of the camera, right? You do that, but what can you place there as well that will be like, hold on, that was kind of fire. I like that. Yo, the hat that Moose wore, like, where do I get that? Where do I get that Fear of God joint? That's kind of fire. It's called influence. So the iPhone right now, the iOS 17 right now is the influencer. Because now you're like, I want everything that's a part of this particular situation.
Wow, that's a fire breakdown. I didn't even think about it that way, but yeah, to place it with those who already hold the influence. And shout out to Nix for always sending me the newest Fear of God hats. Like, hey, look at this one. I saw it on our text thread the other day. I was like, oh man, I missed this. But yeah, no, thank you for always doing that too.
Yeah, I find sales on Twitter. Shout out to Twitter, and I know he likes those hats. It was like $20. I was like, oh, he may buy one, but he didn't react, so I don't think he bought it. So it's all right.
I didn't. I lower the vibes. I was more in the pineapple tree mode. Yeah.
Yo, if you see he goes live every Friday for the flight assessment talk, people. And last Friday he had this like button up, like, and not all the way button, not all the way.
Can't do
but
that.
It was like,
not on
yeah, it was like, well, no, there's a certain individuals that do that.
You. Oh, okay.
Yeah. There's
All
certain individuals that like do that. I'm not going to point them out, but there are.
Yep. Okay, I see.
Anyways, let's go to the next. Let's go to the next one. So here's another thing that I found part of the Apple presentation that was interesting, right? How Apple just wants to be a part of everything. The thing I'm talking about is it's not even called FaceTime. It's called video conferencing. Okay. First off, I don't know many people who use FaceTime for video conferencing.
Definitely
we normally
not.
use Zoom. We normally use Google Meets. Whatever else they have. We use Zoom. So, which shout out to Zoom, even though your stock hurt my feelings. But we're not going to talk about that. So, so now Apple is saying, yo, I want to be part of your business life. And I want to add some things to it. And here's what I mean, which really confused me. Really confused me.
With video conferencing, we spend a lot of time on video calls. But when you share your screen, your face and presence can get lost. This year, we have great new ways to help you present remotely. A new video effect called Presenter Overlay elevates your presence by including you on top of the content you're sharing.
First off, I've never seen anybody present anything on FaceTime. I feel like now that, and here's the thing, here's what Apple does. I think they know that, but they want people to do it. So now they're going to see this feature and they're going to be like, oh, I want to try this. This is kind of really fire. Yeah. So look what I mean by this.
Small overlay, your face appears in a movable bubble, so it's easy to be seen while showcasing your work. With large overlay, you remain prominent while your shared screen is framed beautifully next to you. We separate you.
That's fire. That right there is fire. I ain't gonna hold you. But once again, who FaceTimes for a meeting? But
in the background and layer your screen in between so you can walk, talk, and move in front of your content. Thanks to the Neural Engine and Apple Silicon, you get amazing quality. We also have a new reactions video.
So I don't know if anybody catches this. For those people who are on your phones, right? Zoom in real quick for me. It says Zoom meeting. I don't know if y'all see this. Moose, do you see it?
Mm-hmm. At the top.
It's just pointing at that. Hold on.
Effect. When you want to let others know how you feel, you can add a reaction that seamlessly blends your video with balloons, confetti, hearts, and more. They're fun and have a cinematic quality with depth and focus.
I just want to do that. I just want to like balloons and it's great. That's just me being techie, whatever.
And you can trigger these effects with a gesture. When you're really impressed, 2 thumbs up brings on a celebratory display of fireworks. You can use these new video effects with any app, like FaceTime, Zoom, Teams, WebEx, and more.
Okay, so, right there. Why? Like, Why and how?
I like it. I mean,
Who's just like, I don't know. I can't answer that, but I like it.
but I like it. I mean, what comes to mind, it definitely as they do this, you could in a lot of ways say, well, that's meaningless. But we know for a fact that people record, and if it's on Zoom, I imagine you can also record the meeting or record, yourself in that screen display and make use of it. We know that a lot of edits or training videos are done on Loom. So just like we said that they're going for the bopper competitors, I can see them also making a run at a company like Loom Videos that records their or provides that feature for you to screen record in a bubble, move yourself around so that you can showcase and all those things. So I see similarity in that approach there. But also, you have to see Apple's track record for as long as they've been in business. They always look to see what other people are doing and they challenge themselves to do it better. And so Zoom has had the reaction features for us, I want to say at least since 2020, maybe a little bit shortly thereafter, but they didn't think far enough. And I think that's actually one of the downfalls of Zoom's business overall, is just they weren't innovating, especially when they had so much market share. You didn't say, let's do a virtual meeting. You said, hey, let's jump on a Zoom. It's really compared to when Google was really growing in the early 2000s or whatnot, when you would say, hey, Google that. And so, hey, call an Uber, right? When you start to grab that much market share where your name becomes synonymous with the way people think about the thing that they're about to do, you have such great opportunity there. And so Zoom was buzzing so much throughout COVID that they really failed to innovate. And so I think this is Apple just giving them a quick little nudge like, hey, this could have been you, but you're playing. So we're going to make this happen and show you how it's done. So I could see a lot of that competitive wrestle happening. And I don't know, again, is that an Apple strategy or their tactic? Do they just thrive off of innovation and competition, and that's why they are who they are? They're still technically the wealthiest company in the world, because of all of these innovations and things that they continue to do. So I like it. I like it.
I like it. I'm once again, and see, even Cuddles is like, I'm confused. I don't know why we're doing this, but I'm confused of the why. And of course, it's Apple. Why not? Why can't I do these things, right? But I don't know why you have to add these features. So it's like, well, if you have a Mac, you're able to present in a crazy way. You know what I mean? And maybe I'm biased because I have Ecamm. So, like, I had that ability to do that anyways if I wanted to be fancy. Now people with Macs can be fancy. Sweet, right? I'm just like, where's the long, like, what's the long-term game about that one?
Well, we can all agree that virtual workplace settings are not going anywhere, at least for the foreseeable future. And so there's still opportunity to innovate there. And who knows, this could have been, and really we'll see, but this could have been a misfire on the work from home and the pivot that a lot of CEOs hit on that, because you got to imagine, how long does a product like this stay in development before it's officially launched? All right. And I would wonder, I would estimate anywhere from 6 to 12 months. And so if you date back just that time period alone, work from home was on its way out, but it was still relevant, and it still is somewhat relevant today. I mean, the idea of hybrid roles and things of that nature, it's still rather available to many of us. So that could be one of the reasons. And I think that is still a part of the play, because the whole idea of just connectivity it seemed to be one of the core concepts that they wanted to deliver on for this event. There was the Apple CarPlay to be able to almost control the music and do all those things in a connected way, even if your phone wasn't plugged in. I don't know if you saw that, but it speaks more to the connectivity. So I think there's an element of that goes into it. And, we'll see. They're good at being able to really gauge how people respond, either in a positive way or a negative way, to what they've done, and they've adjusted. I'll be honest with you. One of the things that I don't understand, and this is not something that was, say, released on this event here, it was done obviously some events back, but the whole face coloring on FaceTime. It's probably you ever seen it? That's like one of the most annoying features
with the
ever,
random emoji and everything like that.
It kills me. Like anytime someone does that on FaceTime, I'm like, really? Like, I just want to hang up on you now. It is no longer fun to FaceTime you. So that's a feature that I'm like, why, Apple? Why give annoying people an opportunity to be even more annoying with this feature? But the kids do love it, though, I will say.
But so here's my thing. So now I could go like this and fireworks are gonna hit. Like,
that's an emoji that I see you do too, though. I ain't even gonna lie. Like, I've actually
do that. I do that. Like, yo,
yeah. Now you gotta be careful, because if you on Zoom, your fireworks are gonna pop
I'm like,
off.
Hey, and I'm like, oh my God, I keep forgetting I have this feature. Whatever. Like now they're gonna get gestures and everything. It's like, okay, I'm with the make it fun. Absolutely, I'm with it, right? But it's just like that's your feature. That's your feature, right? Okay, all right. Out of all the things you want to go into the video conferencing and be like, you could do balloons, you could do this, you could do that. Now, granted, this brings up morale. Maybe, you know
I like
what?
that little team culture vibe.
Right. Video conferencing isn't so personal. Our video conferencing is kind of, dry. With these different things that we can do for you, we could boost morale by lighting up fireworks. Right? I just feel like
this might be the only.
I forget and be like, Nikki, you right? And I'm sarcastic and I'm like,
oh shoot! Right. This might be one of the only constructive things or constructive criticism, I guess, that I'll give to them. What if this is more of a mask or some form of strategic cover-up for the fact that they didn't have a lot of physical products to reveal? Think about it. There was the new MacBook Air. There was of course, the Vision Pro. We'll talk about that later. I think some upgraded Mac, like maybe, I don't know that there were a lot of, like, you didn't get a new iPhone. You didn't get a new iWatch.
No,
you didn't get a new
that's always
iPad.
the fall. That's always the fall. So Apple is known for doing two joints. So one is a software kind of situation, maybe one or two, like Air, like you said.
Like, sprinkle some products, but not much.
Right, fall is the iPhone, like is the iPhone release. That's the one we always look forward to. Get our credit cards, loans, and everything ready for. Right. Yeah, some people take out loans. I'm just saying what it is. For the fall event, right? So they do go software heavy in the in this release for sure. They always.
Which makes sense too.
But they do get like I said, the Air, the new. I think the Studio came out with. It's so many like new M2 Ultra semi Voltron kind of vibe chip. I'm like, okay, great.
Voltron chip. Yeah, no, that's a fact. That's a fact. Yeah.
So
yeah.
Shout out
I
to
mean,
Anthony.
you would think they would have held.
I see classrooms utilizing these features. Okay, right. I'm with that.
Keep it PC. I'm with that. Now I was gonna say I would have actually much rather the Vision Pros be announced in the fall because it's less of a
No,
wait
that
time.
people be broke.
Well, no, I actually like the strategic placement of those big products releases in the fall because you're gonna do some holiday shopping. So they catch you early, like September. You're starting to prep for it, and I don't know. I think there's some game to that. Right before you start the holiday shopping, hey, give us your money before you spend it on your friends and family, which is kind of selfish, but I can see that. I can see that happen a little bit.
We'll talk about. I think you just want people to be broke, if that's the case, because the iPhone's already $3,000. Like it keeps getting higher every single time. I bought a terabyte one, and that I don't know why I'm paying this much for this phone, but okay, whatever. I have crazy amount of space. Cool, right? But let's break down the big announcement that one, strategically they made you wait till the end. So when I saw the time, it was from Eastern time from 1 to 3 on my calendar, right? 1 to 3, which I'm like, why? What more software stuff do you want to talk about, right? And of course, in Apple rumor mill, like they've been talking about these goggles. So when everything's done and we're like, oh my God, everything's bigger and faster and great. Look at the new iOS that isn't coming out till fall. Great. Awesome. All the things that I'm super excited about now and will forget about in 3 days. All these features are great. Now they go, we have one more thing. And they bring out the Vision Pro. And so we're going to watch it together and point out some things. And then I'll give my take on this strategy of why the price and why is it taking so long for it to come out. So here you go.
Introducing Apple Vision Pro. Vision Pro is a new kind of computer that augments reality by seamlessly blending the real world with the digital world.
Can we stop right there? Did you notice that they said computer? Not goggles, not headset. Yep. They said computer. So point that out.
It's the first Apple product you look through and not at. Vision Pro feels familiar, yet it's entirely new. You can see, hear, and interact with digital content just like it's in your physical space.
Random side note, I don't really ever see myself looking at pictures with goggles. I don't necessarily see that for my life. Like, let's go through our photo album by myself, just looking at all the photos that I have on my iCloud. I don't necessarily see that, but that's now if I'm able to post, then yes.
Talk that talk.
Yes, if I'm able to post, I could look at my photo album. We could do that. Apple, if you're listening to it, the only point of this part right here is if you allow us to make something out of this and post it. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
And you control Vision Pro using the most natural and intuitive tools, your eyes, hands, and voice.
I don't see many people just being like, I don't see.
Yo, that's hilarious.
Yo, I really feel that people are when they first get it, they're going to be like, not.
Oh, man.
With Vision Pro, you're no longer limited by a display. Your surroundings become an infinite canvas. Use your apps anywhere and make them any size you want.
See, that makes no sense. Like, I'm going to have like 9 screens now because of this thing. I'm going to have mad screens.
Kind of stuff behind her head.
Like all around me. And be like, yes, it's going to be so organized, unorganized. It's like, Nikki, where's this PDF? Hold, I I put it somewhere. Hold on. Oh, up in the ceiling. My bad. Hold on. Let me.
Facts. Can you imagine people with like the ones who typically have about 20 different tabs open at once with this feature here? Yeah, that's gonna be interesting.
It's gonna be crazy. It's like, okay, one tab. Well, okay, here's my Gmail, and then here's YouTube, and then here is Zoom. Here is this. Here is that. Like, what? But okay. Anyways.
Capture photos and videos and relive your most important memories in an entirely new way. Watch your movies, shows, and sports, and immerse yourself in games on a giant screen.
Right there is where introverts are made. Let's just say that. Introverts are made right there. Why would I go anywhere? I'm not going to the movies ever again. If you're going to tell me that I'm getting the whole experience, oh, I'm not going to the movies. Why am I going to the movies? For what? But anyways, sorry. Real life reactions. My apologies.
Surrounded by spatial audio. And connect with people as if you're sharing the same space. Introduce.
I was going to play it again. Now, let me state one thing. Let me state one thing before we go into the lesson. The first question that I ever asked when I saw that was, how are we FaceTiming? What camera, if I'm wearing the thing, what camera are you getting this from? Right? So later on, they answered it by, it creates like an AI avatar of you. So you take the goggle and you put it in front of you, and it scans your whole joint and makes an AI avatar of you. Mm-hmm. So I was like, okay, that's interesting. But now, knowing me, this is me. Knowing me, I get a FaceTime. Hold on. Hello, how are you? How's everything? I would like to see you. I don't want to see your AI. I want to see you. No, I need to walk around and I need to show you certain things. Let's watch Netflix together. Let me pull it up. Here you go. Let's watch this together. Like, this is going to make me bougie. This is going to make me, no. And they showed it on the airplane. Now, on the airplane, you can do it and, what? First off, I sleep in the airplanes. This will make me stay up because now I'm like, boom, it's not even an airplane. It's I'm in a submarine situation. What? This is.
I'm in a submarine. That's priceless.
I'm in a submarine situation. Boom. Here we go. Now that'll be bad if you do public transportation. Please do not do this. Do not.
Bro, if you're on a train in New York, please be careful. Do
not do this. Okay. Anyways, now to lesson mode. Moves before I go in, because I've been doing commentary this whole time. What did you think Vision Pro and how they released it? What's your thought, especially from kind of a strategy wise of how they went that way? Yeah,
so I will say I did catch on to what you mentioned early on, that it's a computer, not a headset. All right, that was something that they were very intentional about saying all throughout. So that people can start differentiating between what type of product this is. This is not Meta's Oculus, or, it was like, let's just create separation from the jump. So that I appreciate. Overall, and I really have to mention this, I had it in my notes to speak to it earlier, but I'll say it here. If we're going to learn anything from Apple as creative entrepreneurs or people who want to build brands and businesses, you have to see how unapologetic they are about explaining every detail and value that they believe is valuable, at least, of their product. They don't rush. They don't shy away from telling you the features and the functionality. And so I think that's so important because it shows self-confidence and it allows you to start engaging and thinking about how can I fit this product into my world? How can I make better use of it? And so one of the areas that I always see individuals struggle with is that they are afraid to talk about their service, the benefit of their service or product in a educational yet non-salesy type of way. And if you're ever going to get any training on that, Apple is a great example of someone who does that so perfectly, right? There's a great balance. I want to show you the details of what this new product is going to do and how it benefits you or how you can make use of it. And I'm simultaneously selling you on how this fits into your world and why you may need it, but I'm not making it a hard sell. I'm still telling you the price at the end. It's a flat rate. It's not there's no bonuses. It just is what it is. So I think just in that display alone, you have to take note on how they simply lay out what they do and they're unapologetic about it.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with that. I think for me, one, they are taking the route of the Apple Watch, right? Follow me with this. So when the Apple Watch came out, they showed it, I think, pretty much around the same time, right? They showed it. We were all excited about it, and they said, not coming out till next year. So with the Vision Pro, this is what they did again. Not coming out till next year. Why? So this is where they are educating the people. So we know Quest, the Oculus Quest has been out for a while. I guess Samsung, and there's other headsets that have came out, but hasn't really truly made a impact as far as this needs to be in everybody's household. Now, if we pay attention to how Apple Watch was, right, it gradually build up hype of like, yo, I'm gonna need this, right? I'm gonna need this for my notifications. I'm gonna need this to check my heart rate. I'm gonna need this for my steps. I'm gonna need this for all these different things, right? Emails. They made it after a while of announcing it, showing it everywhere, getting people to come to the store to try it out, to where now people want it. With this one, they're doing the same situation, because even in the actual presentation, they said you'll be able to go to the stores, get it fitted, that whole nine. So they're taking the same Apple Watch approach of, we're going to educate the people so that you're going to want to get the headset no matter what. They understand it's a steep price, because I believe the Quest, I forgot how much it is, but between like 500, 300 to 1,000, right? Depending what version you get. So they already know with this price point, because the brand, Apple, you could already charge extra $0 on it, right? 2, now they're going to make it where you are going to need it and not just want it. Because when we look at Apple products, majority of the Apple products, people will say, I probably need it for something, right? I need it for like music production. I need it for video editing. I need it for to set up my Zoom calls in a better way and better output with that. I need it for my live stream. People find it as a need and more of also a status situation than anything else. So when they're introducing new products, they're now taking the time to make it into a need. I'm cool with that, right? I will say the price is a little crazy.
Steep.
A little crazy. Now, I don't know who they're aiming for that, right? Like that you kind of, now granted, people will find money, but that is steep. That is a used car for some people. You know what I mean?
That's fact.
It's a used car.
Well, yeah, I think the first, because it's a first iteration product too. I mean, it's the first of its kind. So it's like Vision Pro, let's call it Vision Pro 1. And so I know at some point you can expect the price to come down. We saw it happen with iPhone, right? It dropped at that time. iPhone 1 was a considerably expensive product. It continued to increase, and then it came down a little bit, and now it's back up as they've added more to it and really made it more like a computer. So I agree with that. I think the price point definitely is a bit steep, considering that it's the first of its kind. They either overshot expectation and really made it super inclusive of a lot of the different benefits, and their cost ran up, and so they just had to drop that price point. But are you going to get it?
I'm gonna get there. You said the key word, which is computer. So this may be how they're justifying the price, because if we look at the demo again, there's part of it to where your laptop or your MacBook or whatever can actually be shown in the Vision Pro, right? Some apps will be built in that you could use, but some of it is going to be able to use when you connect your keyboard and mouse and that whole nine, right? So what they're saying is this is going to allow you not to bring your laptop sometimes. This is going to allow you not to bring even use your phone at certain points. So this is going to be eventually everything that you're going to need from a computer standpoint. So I think as they release more information, is going to show how the same way with the phone, like you said, the price went back up because they started saying, yo, this is pretty much your computer. Mm-hmm. So if they did that for the iPhone, they did that for the iPad. They're going to do that with every product that they come out with.
Yeah. Did you catch on to how they pretty much speak to the consumer's objections before the consumer gets to fully voice their opinion on that? So they're in the part where they were talking about the Vision Pro. They said, it has this, super long battery life as long as it's plugged in. When it's not plugged in, you only have 2 hours battery life.
Yes.
I don't know about you, but I went, well, that's trash, right? And so seconds later, they say, however, you can get more battery life with the external battery that just simply plugs into the side, lightweight, and it slips into your pocket. Those might have been the exact words that they use, but
another accessory that's going to cost a grip.
Oh, 100%. But I mean, it goes to the point of what you said about selling without selling. But I would say a good way to think of this, just so that we can extract the lessons from it, is they took time to think about the objections of the consumer, and they give you a solution before it becomes a problem. Because you have to 2 hour battery life. That's probably the worst battery life on any product that they have right now. But to think ahead of that and just simply share it, so you don't walk out of there saying, oh, I love the product, but they know that literally the 3-letter word is going to stop a lot of people from buying. So they put it in there strategically and really very like subtle in a sense, but it makes you say, oh, okay, well, it's not bad. I can just slip the external battery in my pocket. I can get extra battery life. It's fine. So look out for something like that. Or I would say for us, at least, think about, man, what could be an objection that my audience and my client or customers might have? And how can I jump ahead of the gun on what could be the answer or the solution for that, rather than waiting and I say it all the time, passion is an emotion, and it usually clouds your judgment around what are some of the limitations of your product or service. So if you're super passionate about what you're doing, you're not often thinking through the lens of the consumer, who's naturally critical about what you're doing, at least in the beginning. So I took that. I took that as a lesson from them too.
Yeah, my lesson is educate the people. If you are going to give something new, or if you're going to give a higher price tag than you normally do, you want to take the time, announce it, but then take the time to educate the people to make it a need, bare minimum, a want for people. Create a limited amount, because that's what they're going to do. Create a pre-order, right? Collect the money up front, and then release it in different waves. Mm-hmm. If we know anything about Apple releases, that's what they do.
It's a whole mindset.
That's what they do.
I was going to say there's a whole mindset aspect to this, like the fact that they release a lot of their products before they're even ready, or I should say they announce their products before they're ready. Mm-hmm. That's a conversation for another day, but I think somebody needs to be mindful of that. Like, yo, you don't have to be ready to announce. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And if there's anyone who does it and does it extremely well, Apple. Mm-hmm. And you said it, pre-sales, pre-launch, all that good stuff still works, y'all.
Yeah. And the major question is, are we going to get it?
Like how you said, we. Like,
yeah, we.
Like,
yeah, we.
Yeah, I like the French in this. Yeah, no, certainly. I'm with you on this. Yeah.
We're a team.
Absolutely.
It's Nicky and Moose. It's not,
correct.
Is Nicky going to get it?
No, I ain't arguing with you on this. I agree. Yeah, no. Go for it.
So I'll go first. Yeah.
Duh. I hate it. It's so expensive, but I mean, hello.
Yeah, no, I'm not a fan. But how can I tell you guys if it's good or not if I don't get it?
That's right.
If I don't get it. So yeah, I'm gonna get. Now I'm not the super techie where I get all the new MacBooks and everything like that, but the phones and the gadgets, yeah, because I'm interested on the workflow. I'm interested on what does this mean from a brand standpoint, as far as is this going to be the new way for apps to be seen, and what is the experience that a brand can give through the Vision Pro, right? I really want to just say goggles, but the Vision Pro, right? So from that standpoint, from a creation standpoint, how can you create in there? So yeah, I'm definitely gonna get it. Now I'm very big
at launch.
Yeah, at launch. Yes, that's what I was about to say. I'm very aware. The first version sucks. I'm very aware of this, right? However, I am that person that's like, yeah, I have it.
Light flex. You got the Vision Pro, you know.
Yeah, I got the Vision Pro. Absolutely, yeah. I do. I do, and this is what it does. Yeah, I'm gonna get it. I'm absolutely gonna get it. See, here's the thing. One of the best things. Shout out to my mom. My mom gifted me the Oculus Quest. Right? She gifted me that. It was one of the best things she gifted me. Right? I'm going through China and Dubai and all this stuff through the Oculus Quest. I still use it till this day. We still have a mastermind in the metaverse. What's funny is no one talks about the metaverse no more. But we'll talk about that another day.
Zero. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
I saw that in a post today when they were talking about the Vision Pro, and they were like, have you noticed that they didn't say anything about the metaverse? And then you look at it, because you're not in the metaverse, unlike the Oculus Quest. You are still home. You're just using different apps and things and software. You're not in a whole new world. You're watching a movie. In the movie, you're in that world. You're watching something, you're in that world, but you're not all of a sudden in a different world. You're not. You're still home.
Still home.
Yeah.
I will say one of the things that bothered me by the Oculus is that my eyes would get I'm talking about burning, like dry-eyed, red, all crazy type of stuff. So hopefully with the Vision Pro, that's not the reality of it. Shout out to hi Mama Nix, by the way. It's good to see you. Virtual hi. Hello.
Hey, Mom.
Thank you for all the nice messages you send. It's appreciated.
Look, Freed said day one purchase for me. This is what it is. Look, I'm going to be responsible and I'm going to save. Okay, I'm going to save. This isn't probably going to come out till they say early next year. I'm looking at like March.
Yeah,
right?
probably first
Not
quarter.
even
That sounds about right.
Yeah,
that's
March.
about right. I would say
First,
first
second
quarter.
That, or the next around this time next year, latest.
Really, you think it could be that late, like middle of next year? Man, that's crazy.
I gotta look
I don't doubt.
again. I gotta look at when the Apple Watch was announced and then finally released. I gotta look at those stats. Yeah. So I'll talk about that. I'll update the people on the podcast. But side note before we go, if we're talking about content in any kind of way, you might as well show something about Apple in the next couple of days because it'll die down in a little bit. But if you want to take advantage of the trend, talk about Apple, right? I did a reel about the Vision Pro, and when I say that thing is going crazy, like people are having arguments in my comments because of it. Yes, it was shared 13,000 times. Yeah, 13,000 times. We're already at 251,000 plays. And just like, it's
24 hours, probably less, right?
Yeah, 24 hours.
It's amazing. That's amazing. That's really cool.
Pay attention to the trends, people. Pay attention I'm just saying.
Yeah, and place it in a way that makes sense with what you do. Don't just jump into it for the sake of jumping in. Like, obviously, you set it up in a way that's in line with something. Oh, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Nikki talked about this. Like, oh, no, this makes sense. She would normally talk about this. That makes a ton of sense. I will say, just on a separate side note, because we mentioned buying, typically I'm the one who waits. Like, even with the Oculus, Nick said, probably asked me about a good 19 times before I said, yes, I ordered them. It was so my goal is to not make the wait so long this time. How about that?
So what does that mean?
Yes, but not. Yeah, I guess to some extent I do believe that the first batch is usually a low beat. Like they make whatever. You ever heard that saying that the first batch there's something, and then the second batch they magically make them so much better. So typically that's why I've waited, but I'm also changing a lot of those old habits of being late to the party and all that. So I do want to be on the early adopter vibe. So we'll see. I don't know about being like an absolute launch day purchase, but definitely rather soon than super late. Because I got the Oculus, I think it was December, if you remember. I think it was late. It was like, the twos are coming out. Twos came out like a couple months after. So I waited a minute for that. So no, that's not the goal now.
Can someone do the math? How much we have to save every week to have, let's say, $4,000 to be safe.
Taxes.
$4,000 saved by, let's say, we could say January, but I'll say February. I don't think they're going to launch anything in January. They never really launch anything in January. Actually, let's do this real quick. I know we're going a little late. Hold on. When was the first Apple Watch launched? Let's see what this says. April 2015. April 2015. So we can expect probably around the same time. Probably expect. So who could tell us how much do you have to save every week starting this week? For
10 months.
Yeah, for we'll stay safe. We'll stay February Let's say March. Let's say March. March 1st.
I think it's about $100 a week, maybe a little more.
Is it?
Yeah,
Is it?
yeah. Because if it's 10 months, if it's 10
500 a
months, let's say
week?
that's 40 weeks. No, 100.
No,
a week.
Anthony said about 500. Are you talking about a month, Anthony? Oh, monthly. Okay. Whew,
Oh,
I
monthly.
was like,
Okay.
a week?
He said, "Dang."
That is way more than 4,000. Like,
Yeah. No, if we let's say if it's 10 months, that's 40 weeks. So about $100 a week. My math is adding up correctly. It's about 4,000.
all right. Me and Moose are going to make a Apple
Piggy
fund.
bank.
Yeah, we're going to make. So,
Apple piggy bank.
okay, so we got 550, we got 445. I'm assuming these are monthly. I'm assuming these are monthly people because you.
Let me use
people are-
Apple's iPhone calculator. How about that?
I'm going to ask ChatGPT.
And
Where is ChatGPT? Real quick, fast, in a hurry for me. Okay, because
I got it, bro. 4,000 divided by 40 weeks is $100 a week.
okay, 100 it is. I could do 100. I could do 100. You know what I mean? I could do 100 a week. I could sacrifice some mangoes.
Mangoes.
Mangoes are expensive.
Now they are, especially when they're not in season.
Retarded expensive for no reason. Need taxes and insurance. That's why I'm saying 4,000. That's what I'm saying. 4,000, and that's for the starting. See, this is what I don't like too. They said starting at 3,499.
Oh,
And if it's a
that means there's
computer,
gonna be-
that means they're talking
Yeah.
about storage. I'm not a fan of that.
and
I'm not a fan.
Apple Care.
Oh yeah.
This is about to be wild. Shout out to us for helping us, for thinking through this whole thing together. That's
Right.
good.
So okay.
Be a nice little bill.
So okay, never mind. Apple Pay buys Apple products. Apple Pay buys a lot of things besides Apple products. What do you mean? Now so here's where Apple Later comes in for those people who want to do payment plans. Apple has their own
Makes
Later
your
joint
interest set up.
where it's like 4 payments if you want to do that. Try and do that. Just saying. I don't know.
Available.
Hey. Is what it is. Well, we know the screen is going to cost $300. What screen? There's a screen? And RAM. See?
Come.
And RAM. It's a computer.
Computer, right. I see what you're saying.
I'm saying. Anyways, I know we're a little over. We're like 13 over. We apologize. That's me being a little geek. Side commentary. Figuring out how much we have to save. So in the chat or who's ever watching the replay, who is going to get it? Say me or I'll wait. Okay? Me or I'll wait. Moose is going to wait a couple of months.
Hopefully less. But yeah, on the safe side. That's about sounds
Okay.
about right.
Yeah.
Hopefully less. I'm hopeful.
Okay.
We shall see.
Listen, I root for you.
You know what? It's really up to you. It's about how quickly you make it
buying it the
compelling
first
enough.
day.
I
buying
know,
it
but typically you're like you send the screenshots, you drop the messages, you do a little content. So I guess it's up to you, Nix. My destiny is in your hands. It's a joke. It's fine.
I'm like,
It's like how quickly can you convince us to get it?
that's not hard. That's not hard at all.
fact.
Now,
Like,
okay, this is gonna go into a whole other conversation because it's like the same reason. Like, I hope it's not like the iPad, right? Reason why I say that is because did I really need an iPad? Did I really, really need an iPad? Probably not. It's an oversized iPhone. Be honest with you. It's an oversized iPhone. But now I'm like, but this is dedicated to these particular things. It doesn't have social media on it. It only allows me to research on one page, work on the other page, and then entertainment on another page. Like, I found reasons to really,
I can't even lie.
I mean, but then
Same.
is the iPad really needed? No.
Same. Yeah, I can say the same exact thing. I think I did everything you did. Didn't put the social media on it. I said it was going to be a separate screen dedicated for separate things. I tried the dual screen, like the 2 monitor thing. It was great, but it just wasn't as interactive or as smooth as I needed it to be. So I stopped using it. It was helpful though to be able to pull up 2 screens and jump from one to the next. But yeah, it wasn't. I have to agree with that. I did the same exact thing. Justified it, and then got it.
It's so justifiable. Right now, you know what's the worst thing? This thing. This thing right here. It's the worst thing. Let me tell you.
Inconvenient to use. Yeah, I know what you mean.
I do nothing with this. I do absolutely nothing with this. I use Freeform just because I could go like this, but then it turns into actual text. I don't use nothing. It just makes me look smart, like I'm about to do something, but I never do anything. Shout out to the actual artists who may draw on these things. I do nothing with that. It's like $400 and for nothing.
It's wild.
Just say, wild. Sorry for the rant, people. Sorry for the rant. All right, we're out, people. We're out. Look, do us a favor. Do us a favor. If you enjoyed this, bare minimum, just like the video, bare minimum, right? But if you fully support this live, if you're on YouTube, hit the super chat or super thanks. If you are on Facebook, buy a star, right? And every Wednesday, 8 p.m., okay, go check out the full episode of the podcast this week. So episode 140, when you're watching this, is going to be premiering Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Really dope. Shout out to Isaiah, who always kills the visuals, right? Shout out to Eddie, who makes the audio experience amazing. But yeah, we appreciate you. We love you. Moose, thank you so much for the semi-geeky brand and business lesson of Apple. We should do this again.
Absolutely.
Every Apple event. You know what I mean? Every
event,
Apple event, we should do this.
Apple event.
Yeah, why
It's
not?
a fact. I like it.
We're here for this.
I like it. Let's do it.
But you know what we gotta say?
Peace, y'all.